Hi everyone, this is my unboxing of Commands and Colours Samurai Battles, published by GMT Games. I have all the Commands and Colours games from GMT Games. It's one of my favourite game series, so I thought I have to get it. You do get 40 scenarios with this, so it's a hefty box, all right. If we have a look at the back of the box here. Excuse me. So it's a two-player game. You can play Command and Colours solo. You're playing both sides. There are different solo sort of methods for doing so. Playing time is about an hour, and GMT are classing it as a medium complexity. Interestingly, it looks like you get some nice dice with it as well. So let's see what we get inside. So straight away we can see lots of wooden blocks. It's not traditionally a block war game, or not what I would class as a block war game, though the pieces you're playing with are based on wooden blocks. And you get lots of them, which means there's going to be lots of time spent stickering all these. We'll have a look at those stickers in a minute. So plenty of blocks. Tons of blocks. I'm thinking about all the stickering I'm going to be doing. Lots of blocks. Then we get our card. Oh, here's our dice. And yeah, they're very nice. Very nice. I'm anticipating, because I've played other games in the series, that I'll take to this game straightforward. You don't have to have played any of the other games from Commands and Colours. So here's our cards. Interestingly, 2 decks of cards, so I'll be interested to find out what that is all about. Then we've got our rulebook. We'll come back to this in a second. Scenario book. So interestingly, some of the games, the scenario book and the rulebook are combined. I think that's true of the medieval game, but in this one you get a separate book for the scenarios, which is great. And here we are into our stickers. So the stickers are fairly straightforward to attach. They just take a very long time to do, because each of these blocks is double-sided. It has 2 stickers, one for either side. I do know some people only sticker one side because they play the game with the blocks laid on the board. Oh my goodness, lots of stickers. It seems to be quite a lot of quite a few cavalry and foot. Now this is a historical period. I will confess, I don't think I've got any war games for the samurai sort of historical period. I do have plenty of books on the samurai. It's a subject matter that I'm very interested in, but not so much on the wargaming side. So then we have our reference card. So this will tell us how many blocks make up the unit, how far they can move, how many dice they roll, any special rules. That looks great. And we've got two of these. Let's have a look on the back of this one. So mounted leaders, counters. No idea what these are for. They look great though. I will be finding out as I read the rulebook. Tile art. So each Command and Colour games comes with very nice. These look great. Come with these sort of large hexagonal tiles to represent the different terrain types. Obviously some level of forest, woods, etc. They look great. Double-sided. So on the back we've got rivers. These are very nicely done. These look excellent. Hills. Very cool. And then we'll have the actual board itself. Let's have a look at that. So the board itself is a hard mounted board. They do lay flat quite nicely for experience. You sort of have to push gently against the fold that will help the board lay flat. Or, you know, if you play a lot of war games, we've all got massive amounts of plexi. But often I just play with the board flat, and you know, as with all the Command and Colours boards, It's featureless, and then you'll use these terrain tiles to lay the terrain out. They punch out very nicely. They look great. You'll be placing those depending on the scenario that you're playing. So first we'll have a look at the scenario book, as we're talking about the scenarios. And you do get a massive 40 scenarios in the book. And each scenario sort of follows this same sort of format. You get a diagram to show the forces that you'll be using and the layout. This is the first samurai skirmish. Looks like it's 2 samurai armies. They do look fairly asymmetrical looking at the starting forces. Not a huge number of units for that scenario. Great illustrations. And again, you just basically, as you can see through the scenario book, you're getting a whole bunch of historical based scenarios. There's a little bit of history there for the scenario, which is great because this is a historic period that I haven't wargamed, as I mentioned. So I'm going to be looking forward to sort of learning more about this period of history from a wargaming perspective. These look great, and you just get tons and tons and tons of them. So there's a huge amount of content in terms of scenarios in this game. These look, yeah, this looks great. One of the things I think I like about, one of the things I do like about the Command and Colour games is how even within the system, how asymmetrical the actual scenarios are. It's not a case of just lining up 2 similar sides and having at it. It's yeah, you can see here, look, for example, this looks great. Oh yes, this looks great. So yeah, huge volume of scenarios, brilliant. Then we're into the rule book. Very nice presentation of the rule book. Again, the board is split up, as you'd expect if you're familiar with the system, into 3 different areas: the right, left and centre. Tells you how many blocks for all the different types. So we've got infantry, samurai infantry, lots of different infantry, bowmen for example, levy, irregular, sorry, army commanders, army commander bodyguard. Oh, interesting. We get this is new. Army roster. So it tells us some of the details about the particular units. Very nicely laid out. Very clear. Oh, this looks great. The rulebook will take you through how to play the game. It takes a little while to go through the rulebook, I would say. It's a Commands and Colours, sorry, I should say. It's a pretty straightforward game to learn. It looks to be in keeping with the other games in the series. No doubt there are some nuances. Each game has its own nuances. The rulebook looks to do a good job of taking you through. So it will take a little while. If you're completely new to the game series, what I'll do, I'll sit here in an evening and read through the rulebook, and in particular I'll be looking for the nuances for this game in the series compared to others. I can straight away see, as I'm saying it, we've got this thing called Loss of Honour. That could be very interesting. Then we've got our cards. Ooh, this looks somewhat different. Dragon cards and command cards. So dragon cards look different, I think. No, the 40 dragon cards in the core game. Legendary and mythical actions on the battlefield. Great, that sounds wonderful. So yeah, this looks great. So I'm a big fan of Commands and Colours. It is one of my favourite wargame series. I've got, like I said, all the games from GMT Games plus Memoir, etc. And I've reviewed them and made videos about them on my channel. So please check those out. This looks like a great addition. I can't wait to get it onto the table. I'm just going to have to spend a little time stickering all those blocks. But once it's done, they're done. And they're sitting there in front of the TV for a few evenings or in front of YouTube, whatever. So yeah, really looking forward to getting this to the table. Big fan of the series. This looks great. and also an opportunity to learn a bit more about this historical period. So good stuff. Thanks a lot for watching as ever. Thank you.